I'm taking the 8100 and cultivator back to the shop. The other day I put ridging wings on it and went back into corn and just tried to ridge a little bit, kind of hill the dirt up around the corn. That was right before a rain, so I only got maybe 8 acres done, somewhere around there. It's been a few days since it rained and it's drying up enough we can go back in and start ridging again. So I've got 19-inch sweeps on this cultivator right now. I usually have 19s on it for the first cultivation. I'm going to go back and put 17s on it. I use the 19-inch sweeps when the crop is small. I use that setup for both corn and soybeans. And then when the crop gets a little taller, switch to 17-inch. It shortens them up a little bit and you don't get the root pruning that you would from a bigger sweep. So you don't want to get into the roots and prune the roots. That was a tight fit. Usually I'd bring it in the big door here, but we got the field cultivator, changing all the sweeps and shank protectors on it. Turn some lights on here. These are the ridging wings that I put on the other day. I had them in, see if you can see it. You can see it on this one. I had them in the bottom hole here, which lowered them. And that really just pushed the dirt up against the corn. It was a little too much for the stage that it was in, so I moved them up. And also, they're adjustable. Got some dirt in that one. All of these have dirt. There's adjustments where you can widen them out or narrow them up, depending on how much dirt you want to move and push into the crop. I put the shields down. I had them up originally, but I put them down just because it was pushing too much dirt in there and trying to knock some of that dirt away. It was doing a pretty good job. So now I'm going to change these sweeps from 19s to 17s. Got my pallet of parts here. I have these numbered so I can just put them back on where they came from. Here's what a 19-inch sweep looks like to 17-inch. Here's about, it's not quite 2 inches. It's a little over an inch, but they measure from, I think, this point to this point. I made a few rounds here just to get everything set and get stuff worked out. I'll show you what it looks like here. The ridging wings are doing a really good job throwing dirt up around the corn and covering everything up. I changed quite a few settings. I had the hose shields down, but they were catching the corn and just kind of, well, they would catch the leaves and then they would push it over, and then the ridging wings would throw dirt on top of them. So I locked those up. I took the cutaway discs out. I figured if I'm throwing dirt in the row that I don't really need to cut weeds away from the row. It was just making a lot of dirt pile up because those cutaway discs, they throw a lot of dirt into the shank there. So I took those off. It's doing a really good job. I'm pretty impressed with it. I wasn't super excited about ridging corn because this fall when we come in with the combine, especially for the grain cart driver, you're not going to want to go over those ridges a lot. It's going to be pretty bumpy, but you do what you got to do to get the weeds out of the row. But the corn's still too young and too short, so this is the best I can do right now. I'm hoping that maybe in a few days the corn will shoot up a little bit higher. I know the weeds are going to keep growing, but maybe the corn will outgrow it a little bit. I can roll more dirt in there. I'm running about 4.7, 4.8. That seems to be the sweet spot for not knocking any corn over, but yet still rolling dirt into the row there. Hey guys, good morning. I had to take off early yesterday for a meeting. Dad finished up the main part of the field for me. Now I just have to do the ends. This morning I'm gonna take the ridging wings off so the combine and grain cart don't have to bounce over the ridges when I'm doing the ends. So we'll do that.
Installation would also be
I got the ends finished up on the cornfield. Went in and had some lunch, so I'm back out here just kind of going through my soybeans, looking for any weeds. They're still really clean, still really happy with them. So just seeing what all's out here and seeing if I need to cultivate soon. Getting some good branches on them now. A lot of the rye residue is really breaking down. There's not a whole lot left. I'm not seeing a lot of weeds out here, so they could probably go another few days yet. Last year I had transitional soybeans for the first time, and I was able to do it in 2 passes with the cultivator. I'm back here at the shop now. I wanted to show you guys what I'm doing. We're changing out these shank protectors here. These can get pretty brittle. You can see how thick that is there, and then it gets pretty thin. That's where the soil's hitting it and just kind of eating it away. We're changing it out for these steel ones. They should last at least twice as long, if not more. So we're changing those out. We've got the back row to do yet, so we'll work on that. It can get kind of tricky because this tab right here has to be pretty close and direct center of it, and when you're tightening it up it can move. That tab holds this sweep on so it doesn't slide off. Before we got this cultivator and switched to the knock-on sweeps, we used to have to bolt these sweeps on. You can kind of see where the bolts are here, the 2 bolts. There'd be 2 holes for the bolts in the sweep, and you'd have to manually bolt them on. This way, with the what they call knock-on sweeps, you just slide them on and then take a hammer and just pound them on, and then when you want to change them, you just pound them off and they'll come right off. That's all I've got for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and hit that like button.